All right, so this is part 11, I guess, of the heavy shell artillery. I'm almost done here, folks. I'm sorry. But I'm just trying to make it clear to you what part truth and part lies do, what these shills do. It's a nasty, nasty thing that they do, and they're, it's they've done most of it already. They're just now it's just a matter of laying on the last layer of lies and deception, But as far as how do I read it right now? Yeah, it honestly does seem like an invasion. You can call it by these evil beings, whoever they are. And they're going from as I thought they would, as I just explained in this last segment here, putting their backs up against the water and then going inland from that point. Now, once they have all the borders and all of any military general or investigator for that matter, they'll tell you this. Once they have all the, like so many 100 miles in from each, all the coastal areas, they'll work on the board, and they'll have a way so that I have to be careful when I say this here. All right, so let's just say somebody at one point told me, may have mentioned to me, I should say, and I don't condone this at all, because those of you who know me know that I don't condone any kind of killing of life of any kind, but I think they had mentioned to me that when, let's just say, certain entities decide they want to go and, I don't know, let's just say, off the top of my head, let's just say, I don't know, assassinate somebody or something, and when they're putting their little game plan together, well, they have two teams. There's Team 1 and Team 2. You don't know if you're going to be one of the people, let's say, with one of your eyes in the scope. How are you going to watch behind you to make sure that nobody comes up behind you, or even possibly, has a go at you from the back? So that's Team 2's job. They literally face that's textbook, fundamental, baby step intelligence practice. And I don't mind saying so. That's what they do. They do that. That's my gosh, that's implemented at your friendly NBA game. And the next time you watch one of those games, you watch the refs, and when they go over to view, oh, that ball was out. No, that ball was in. No, it was a foul. No, it wasn't a foul. Whose ball is it? Whatever. They'll go over and they will look at the monitor for the replay. Well, watch their back. Watch what happens. They've even implemented it in sport now. It'll either be one of the security guards, it'll be a fellow referee, or at last resort, if everybody's busy, which has been rare, but I've seen it, it'll be like a local police officer of some sort. But somebody will watch their back, and they will always put them 180 of that ref that's watching, or the refs that are watching the monitor, protecting their back. And because it's a large area, that only makes sense, to put if you're dealing with citizens, like I said, they don't have a navy, you put your back up against the wall, up against the water, so you don't have to watch it. That's just what it seems to me. And it's I don't want to give away the farm here, people. I gotta hold something until, and I can't. Well, just use your imagination, people. You know, you don't want to give everything away because you don't want them to adjust to it. But let's just say it's a feeling, that after they have all the coastal areas and the borders saturated, conquered, I guess, I don't know what they use in military language or war military language or whatever nowadays, but once it's occupied, you better believe they're going to start moving inward. And, it'd be really nice if everybody was just made aware of things before it got to that point. So now that you even, let's just say now that you know that, now that you even can possibly feel that that is a possibility, and throwing in the footnotes that well, let's just say I had heard from a friend that, well, I know it's okay, it's already out of the bag, I already let it out of the bag. I'm not saying all of it, but as the mainstream media was broadcasting a supposed live, they never do it live, people, it's always on a so many second delay. But a lot of it is, if it's big news, international, whatever, what I've come to find is just videotape, and they're always taken from training sessions. If you've got, remember when they had that New York military, that nuclear exercise? Well, that'll usually tell you what's coming because they have to grab their media footage there. Do you follow me? So, no reporter is going to put their lives in danger in a nuclear blast or a supposed nuclear blast in the middle of it. Like the idiots that try to do it in the middle of hurricanes and stuff. But back to this, well, actually, it was somebody that I was familiar with, and one other person had said, no, that, well, yeah, there is. Well, no, actually, both of them I was familiar with. Yeah, and one of them I actually personally knew. They had a friend's girlfriend that was down in, I want to say, oh no, actually, it was Miami. Yeah, it was Miami. And she said, well, yeah, there is that the hurricane weather, and but as far as those 200-mile-an-hour winds or whatever they were saying, she's like at the current, because we were listening to it live too. She said that's not here. She said, I mean, it's blowing, the wind's blowing, but it's not like, And see, here again, people, this is what they tell you and what is happening are two different things. And why did everybody freak out and just, and they just shot right out? The girl that was still there had no choice, but his other friend had, I think the auntie or somebody had called for him to come fly up to, I think it was somewhere up in Ohio somewhere or something, so they wouldn't, he wouldn't have to ride that out down there. But the girl said it's blowing, but it's not like blowing. She's like, she said, anyway, the way she put it was that the other hurricanes that had come before that, the actual real ones, which makes sense if you think about it, were more powerful, much, much more powerful than these, animated radar. I don't know if you folks heard that either, but all that animated radar, supposedly live, as I heard it, was found to only be coming from one particular source, which was, of course, government related. And this is what I mean, people, you have to discern this for yourself, and then putting it together with the actual testimony of real people who were actually there, it just doesn't match. But guess what? Anybody want to say that 4-letter word with me? Fear. Everybody got scared and fear, and it's not fair, and it's not their fault. That's what I'm saying. Is, you know, look, I don't mind egg on my face. They've thrown it on me in public so many times, and it's not even funny. So, if it means like it's going to help somebody so they don't have to go through what I went through, and it's looking like that a whole lot right now, and I don't like it. So that's the only reason why I'm putting this stuff up there. Also to, try to dilute the efforts of them stealing my material every night, because I see it every single night. I see the evening before my notes or whatever that I had put down, because they knew I don't upload it or I don't do anything with it. I just keep it for my personal memoirs. But I always wondered, wow, yeah, they can still do it, but at least I'll have a record of it now. So anyway, that's what seems like it's happening, people. And everybody out of fear ran from their house. They ran from the properties. Now, can you think of an easier way of somebody who's doing an invasion? I know it sounds stupid, but you got to remember too, I'm going to take you back to September 10th, 2001. Not the 11th, the 10th. If I would have told you that planes would be supposedly, because they haven't even proved that yet either, would be flying into buildings tomorrow, you would have laughed then too, wouldn't you? Why? Oh, because nobody can get in America. Well, nobody can, get at us like that. Well, I think differently now. So when you think about this invasion thing, people, I'm not telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I see. And this is what I see. It's not good. Out of fear, everybody ran from their houses. And here's a last one to let you latch on to. This is going to piss you off. It's going to tick you off. I'm sorry, I forget my language, but there's no other way to put it. Now that you know what you know, the person that makes that little offer of the, if you help us out to the, let's just say this person making the wonderful videos that are, scaring everybody to death, even, whether it be children or whatever, and all that stuff, even chain reacts down to animals and stuff. I mean, I just cannot stand this, because I love people and I love life and I love animals and everything, with all life, and it's just not right. But anyway, they say, oh, well, if you help us out long term, not just maybe a month, but if you want to just keep helping us out, we'll continue to pay you. But if you'll just keep this under the table, just keep this under your hat, there's a pretty good possibility that we may be able to give you in this area or that area, maybe even the house of your choice. Which house might it be? Yours, maybe? I'll come back in this last part here, it should be, and I'll tell you about it. Be right back.